very stripy today.
What?
You're stripy today.
Oh, I am stripy.
Very, very
I
stripy.
got me some
It's
stripes.
I love that hat. I love those hats.
I do too. This is one of my favorites.
I know I wear mine all the time too. I love it. You guys, if you have not already, you should join Locals. You should do that. Our Locals group and our insiders, our Facebook insiders. You can join Locals by going to chicksontheright.locals.com. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got that. Look at me getting that right. chicksontheright.locals.com. And you can find your peeps there. You should do that.
Geez.
What happened to Rumble? What happened to Rumble?
It's not Rumble, it's Getter. Getter is like all screwy now, and now apparently we're not streaming to Getter. So the people that normally come to Getter, you're not getting got.
Sorry.
I don't know why.
Sorry, Getter people.
I don't know why. Let me see if there's anything I can do to like do it. I don't know. I don't think that there is, but yeah, it's just not happening. I don't know why. Getter's not working. Hopefully the Getter people will come on over in another form or fashion, and I'll figure that out before tomorrow.
Come on over, baby.
Yeah, Getter done is right. So
Getter.
Yeah. Getter it's not working. Anyway, hi everybody.
Happy Thursday. It's been lots of news. Lots of like news snippets.
Yeah, I know people are wondering about my name, and we will get to that in just a second. But first, we got to just send up all the prayers to Hawaii right now, and specifically Lahaina. I think that's how you say it. But man, that area has just been ravaged by fires. And some of the visuals and videos that were getting posted on TikTok and elsewhere of just the total destruction. I think it's 271 buildings are just gone. And people were like forced to run into the ocean to escape the flames. 36 people that we know of so far have died. I mean, it's bad. The wildfires are out of control, and just hate to see that in such a, I mean, you hate to see it anywhere, but in such a idyllic, perfect
Beautiful
place,
right.
You know, it's just awful. So definitely thinking about everybody over in Hawaii right now. Prilosec. This is the reason for my name today, you guys. Prilosec. Apparently, if you take Prilosec, you have a 33% increased chance, I read this morning, of developing dementia.
That's a lot.
That's a big number.
Big number.
So I know that that's a very common medication. And so I just wanted to, kind of say to everybody that if you are taking Prilosec, just ask your doctor about that new study, because that seems like a really not good increased chance of getting dementia.
And you were talking this morning before we went on, we were doing pre-show about how there's a lot of people in your orbit.
In my orbit.
That have experienced dementia.
And just a lot. I mean, like I've got neighbors, I've got friends whose spouses have developed dementia and passed away from dementia.
Right.
And it feels like it's more common with people I know. And that just feels weird.
Heartburn. It's a heartburn medication, isn't it? Heartburn.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Right. It's over the counter.
Is Prilosec over the counter now?
I believe so. I think it's over the counter. I think I've seen it over the counter, isn't it, you guys? I don't take it. I've never. The only time I've ever had heartburn in my entire life, I never have experienced it except for third trimester of my pregnancy, and I didn't take anything for it. I mean, I just don't. So
yeah,
acid reflux, heartburn. Yeah,
just be careful with that. My name is pretty lame today, but it's the best I could do.
Yeah. And somebody just said that they think that the fires, I don't know who it was, they think that the fires in Hawaii
are purposeful,
are on purpose.
You guys, we're going to show you some clips of Biden in a bit that really made me feel like that too, that there's something very orchestrated about all of this. And I know that sounds super paranoid.
Very tinfoily. I mean, you can say that's tinfoil hat stuff, but listen, I mean, I was telling Maka, I had a conversation with my mom about that last night too. And it is a little weird, you guys.
It's just, I
It's
don't
I know,
you'll hear
right?
because I heard about the wildfires separately from seeing this clip of Biden, and so I was just like, "Oh, man, that sucks that these fires have started. I don't know what the cause of the fires is." And then I hear Biden, and you'll hear and I'll play this clip for you guys in just a bit, but when there's something that he said that just made me go, "Wait a minute."
Yeah,
And then it starts to feel very, very orchestrated and planned, and I don't like feeling like that. But it's not like this government has given us much reason to trust it. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So, Jay Lopez, what is Mox orbit? It just means the circle of people that I know.
It's more than immediate family for her. It's extended. That's her orbit. I'm
Watch
in her orbit.
yesterday's show for
Right.
all the discussion about
Mhm.
orbits.
I'm in your orbit, aren't I? I'm in your
Oh
orbit.
yeah, you're like
Yeah,
smack dab right in
I'm
there.
right in there.
Yeah, you're
I'm Uranus, you guys. That's right there. I'm right there. I That's me. Hi,
I
I'm Uranus. It's me. That's me.
I would have never categorized you that way.
I'm that much of a pain in the ass, you guys. That's me.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Sorry.
Anyway, so that is the reason for my name today. And also, we have other news to get to, but I want to make sure that everybody is aware that Omaha Steaks right now, it's not just My Pillow celebrating anniversaries, you guys. Omaha Steaks, they have been around for 100
Can you
years.
even with that?
I cannot.
100 years.
I mean, 100 that is a really long ass time, you know?
I know. 100 I was just fantastic. Y'all have to celebrate with them.
And actually,
50%
it's
off.
more. It's not even that this is their 100th anniversary. This is like, I don't know, like 106 or something. But the fact that they're celebrating anniversaries past 100, that's remarkable.
It is. It is truly remarkable. And they're the best. I mean, my God, they have the best meat. They have the best size. They have the best everything. There's, I mean, quality, 100 years of quality.
And you know, I'm not you and I are both not chefs by any stretch of the
Oh, God.
imagination.
I
But
only have a kitchen
yesterday,
because it came with my house, you guys.
let me tell you what I made. I
What'd you
took
make?
the Omaha Steaks pork loins, you know, how they come
Yeah,
like in
their
the
pork chops are really good.
yeah, and they're thick, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they're thick and they're so good. So I made like a whole thing of in my crock pot of those. I put those pork chops in there along with some red potatoes, and I made a sauce that included like gravy and ranch
Who
seasoning and
are
all these
you?
other different seasoning. It was so
I
good.
don't even know who she is.
I
I
know it
don't
was so good, you
I
guys.
don't know who she is.
Oh my god, their meats are amazing. And so because they're celebrating, they're having a 50% off site-wide sale. And all you have to do to check out the packages that are available with that sale is enter the code word chicks into the search bar at omahasteaks.com. And then you're also going to get, with certain packages, you're also going to get free burgers, you're going to get free steaks. So right now, it is a massively amazing time to shop at omahasteaks.com. Check them out immediately. And then if anybody wants my amazing pork chop recipe, you know, just send us an email and I'll get it to you because it was
She's like
so good.
Martha freaking Stewart over here.
Which is so ridiculous,
It
like for
is
anybody that knows me.
crazy. She's planting things, she's cooking things.
Also, remember how we said, I think it was last week that we talked about Lizzo and how 3 of her
Yes.
dancers were suing her for
Mhm.
sexual stuff and like
Right,
for
and she's telling people that they're fat, they're too fat.
right.
What? I'm sorry, what?
So
Yeah.
there's like she created a sexually charged environment as the people that are part of her orbit
Yeah. How did they not
have
know?
now
How did they not know she was gonna be sexually charged? I mean, you kind
like
of
have
look at
you seen the choreography that you are
Mhm.
actually doing?
Right,
Because
right.
the environment is meant to be sexually charged. That's how all of these, you know, pop artists are today. That's how all their videos are. They're just gross.
Yeah.
But I do have a funny thing to mention. I can't remember where I saw it, but somebody on Twitter was calling Chris Christie Crizzo.
Oh my god.
And I
That
shouldn't laugh. That's
No,
mean. But
I
like,
mean, it's a little mean, but it's also equally funny. It's
I mean,
funny.
that's a
It's
pretty
really
funny
funny. But
nickname.
what I do is I conjure up this image in my mind of him in like a skimpy outfit dancing on stage, which is very disturbing, and I need somebody to purge it from my brain immediately.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, I just thought that was
Crizzo.
Rizzo. That was kind of funny. All right. Moving on. Let's get to some videos. I know we talked a lot yesterday about the border and what a complete crap show it is.
Mhm.
It's just so much worse than anybody I think can actually imagine. And so there's video that we have coming out of Brownsville, Texas, to demonstrate just the level of filth and how much these migrants have taken over land in the United States. And it's unacceptable. I don't know why anybody is putting up with this. Here is what it looks like.
This is all illegal aliens waiting
So
for their time to
unacceptable.
cross. Whenever that time comes, it goes all the way down.
Look at that filth. Oh my God.
Look at this filth.
Oh my gosh. That's the first thing they do when they
That's
get
a
here.
fire waiting to happen right there. It's all diesel
Right.
fluid spilled.
Meanwhile, we have burn bans all over Texas.
There's some people right there. Looks like they're
I'm glad they're enjoying the.
playing in the water.
Oh my God.
This encampment goes all the way down. All the way down there as well.
Yes,
mean-
that is, yes, that's from the illegal immigrants. That's from them. They just dump their stuff right there. So the first thing they do, they're not even across yet, and they dump trash. They just dump their crap right there. It's like, this is how they feel about the country that they want to break into.
Yeah.
They just want to they destroy the land first before they even get in here.
And apparently there are
Ugh.
plans, like when they create these giant long encampments, essentially, then the plan or the fear is, and this has happened before, is that they will choose a date and time to just bum rush a bridge or some sort of entry point where they cannot be caught, where they cannot be processed, where they cannot go through any kind of screening whatsoever, because they overwhelm the few border security folks that we
Right.
have.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just all just being allowed by this administration. I
Mhm.
just can't believe that they can look at that and then have Mayorkas go anywhere and say the border's secure.
Oh, it's totally secure, you guys. Absolutely
my
secure. We're doing a
God.
great job. Fantastic job. And who wants that? Who wants the border patrol job anyway? I mean, the guys, the women and the men who do that job, they're saints to begin with to even do that job. But who
Yeah.
would want to do that job? They're demonized just like cops are demonized right now. And so, can you imagine being somebody in that position right now? Oh my gosh, I can't.
Just the worst of the worst, right? Like these are people who are not these are criminals in many
Yeah.
cases, and the very first thing that they're doing when they get here is a crime.
Exactly.
And so, oh, it's so infuriating. So here's an example. Here's an example of someone who was recently caught at the border.
Take a look at this picture here from right here in Maverick County, where we are. Texas Rangers and special operators arresting this Honduran national they found hiding on a train trying to get deeper into the U.S. Turns out they run his name. He is a confirmed MS-13 gang member, a registered sex offender who has crossed illegally 4 times before, and he's got a lengthy criminal history, violent, including kidnapping, abduction, and sexually violent crimes. Back out here live, authorities announcing yesterday that a Venezuelan migrant was arrested for raping a woman right in front of her 3-year-old child. This happened in upstate New York in a hotel room. One of those migrants who crossed illegally, got sent to New York, and is now arrested for rape.
Best of the best. We're just getting the best of the best, aren't we?
Yep. And I guess, Abbott and other border state governors who have been shipping off migrants to New York, good on them. Like the more that this gets in the faces of the very people who have voted for these policies, then the more they hopefully realize, well, this sucks, and it's starting to affect people in DC because people are getting shipped to DC as well. And there's a DC councilman who was speaking out about this, I guess, just yesterday.
Yep.
And, these are Democrats and they're starting to feel the impacts. And now, of course, they're trying to push the blame onto the federal government in the form of asking for more money. But the fact is that they are starting to realize, oh, this is what it's like when you're bombarded with people who shouldn't be here. So maybe some change will come. I don't know, but this is the level of frustration that there is from a DC councilman.
I have spoken with the DC National Guard. And while I have to have more conversations with the chief of police, which I have today, and the mayor and my colleagues, we have a long way to get there. We just know that police alone is not getting it done. And we are clearly in a war zone. If you don't know you are in a war zone, that means you haven't been here. Our government has to step up. Our police department has to step up. And our residents have to step up. We're tired of this shit. And enough is enough. Excuse my language, but I want to be quite frank.
Really? Because you are the government, you dipshit. Right. That's what your job is. You are the government, and you are a Democrat, and you're the one who said policies are the ones that cause this. What you said, we're sick of this shit. Well, your policies caused the shit,
right?
And so
congrats.
Right. This is the guy I was talking about yesterday that we didn't have the video for, but I watched him, and I'm thinking, what? Now they made the bed. Now they're lying in it, and they're like, "Oh, it's so uncomfortable here in this bed." I don't. Yeah, it's so uncomfortable. Okay, well, you're the reason for the discomfort. You're the reason for the crap. I mean, it's astounding to watch this happen. It's such a huge "I told you so" moment where they just cannot see it. These people are so dumb they cannot see the errors of their ways.
And even if they do, they are still going to put politics above all of this, as is evidenced by that horrible, horrible New York Representative Bowman. Listen to this.
Wow. We need leadership from President Biden, period. Oh, Democrats are looking bad right now in New York State, and that's unacceptable when we have to win at least 4 congressional seats to take back the House. So hopefully the president is listening.
I mean,
that's all he cares about.
Yeah, it's all about looking good. It doesn't matter what's actually happening in cities and what's happening in the country and how the country is literally going into the crapper. It's about looking good. And there's an election coming up, y'all. So we got to look good.
Right. I mean, he's not talking about actually fixing the problem or enforcing the laws already on the books. He's saying, hey, Democrats are looking bad. So we need to do something about the look, the visual.
Oh, it's crazy.
The optics. That's what they care about.
That's all they've ever cared about. It's like the reason that they're getting all these people, or they're allowing all these people in, is so they can get voters.
What is I don't know who you're talking to, David Niehoff, when you say we are a nation of immigrants, you racist. We're a nation of immigrants. That's true. Like my parents who came here legally. And we love that. The more people that come here legally, that's great. This is not what we're talking about, you absolute moron. And I'm sorry if you're referring to somebody here in the chat.
You probably don't want to talk to Mock about nation of immigrants.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you don't know a damn thing about you don't know anything about that, because she's the last person you want to talk to about immigrants coming over legally or illegally. Maybe do some homework.
What a complete moron. So he's fine, apparently, with the MS-13 gang members coming over and raping people. Maybe when it's somebody in his personal orbit, maybe then he'll care about that.
Or maybe you can take that guy into your house.
There you go. Since you want them all to be here, if you don't want to be racist, you should have a bedroom open for somebody. Well, I mean, right?
You're obviously not racist, so have them come into your guest bedroom.
God, these people are idiots.
Yeah.
Anyway. Moving on, I do want to mention, I know we've talked about this before, and I'm going to grab my notes because it's so important and I don't want to mess anything up. But this is a freaky, freaky time right now, because you guys, August 22nd, we're what, 12 days away from August 22nd. BRICS, the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, they are going to be announcing the launch of a new international super currency fully backed by gold. And the reason, this is all part of the Durban Accords, and this is a humongous threat to the US dollar's dominance in the world for the past 80 years. It's a huge, huge threat. And this is why it is so important that if you have not educated yourself about why gold or other precious metals might be helpful to have in your whole financial portfolio, now is the time to learn about it. And you will get no better learning than you get from the folks at Birch Gold. And all you have to do is text the word chicks to 989898. They will send you all the information that you need to know. And then if you look at it and you decide, no, I don't care. I don't need this. I don't need it. You've lost nothing. You've risked nothing. You've obligated yourself to nothing. But if you read the information and you appropriately freak out a little, then you might take action. And so we just want to make sure that everybody knows all the stuff there is to know. Birch Gold does it better than anyone. Just text the word chicks to 989898. Okay, so I think what we'll do next is talk about the January 6th committee. It turns out, as you'll hear from Jesse Waters, that they were engaged in a little bit of shady behavior, if you can imagine.
No. I'm shocked and dismayed.
I know. I hope everybody was sitting down when I said that. But we'll let Jesse break it down because this is pretty extraordinary.
The January 6th committee has just been caught cold, orchestrating a massive illegal cover-up. Trump is headed for trial next year for January 6th related charges, and he's going to have subpoena power, which gives him the right to access critical documents and videos pertaining to the time period. That means the January 6th committee, whose 2-year investigation produced thousands and thousands of documents, transcript, and hours of deposition videos, the good, the bad, and the ugly, will be legally required to turn over whatever materials Trump requests. And as you know, Primetime does not believe in coincidences. Yesterday, we uncovered that the January 6th committee has destroyed almost 50% of their evidence.
Oh, my God.
The Democrat-run January 6th committee is missing 1.5 terabytes of data. This is an enormous amount of material. Records of the Capitol Hill security failures, video of Trump cabinet depositions, emails, text messages, gone.
Unreal.
And who knows what else they deleted. Remember, the January 6th committee only aired and only reported what Democrats wanted you to know about January 6th. Anything they didn't want you to know about the 6th wasn't made public, and it looks like it was destroyed. We might never get to the bottom of January 6th because the January 6th committee destroyed their evidence. This has never happened before in Congress.
Unreal.
So what, did Hillary come over there and tell them how to do things?
Did she bring her cloth?
She was like, exactly. Let me tell you how to handle this, you guys, because I know how to do this. Yeah. So, I mean, if this was like the worst attack since what? And what did they compare it to? They've compared it to all sorts of different attacks.
Oh my God. It's basically like Pearl Harbor all
it's
over
like,
again.
Yeah, exactly. If it was the worst attack since Pearl Harbor, don't you think they would keep the evidence? Don't you think?
Yeah.
You
Well,
think they would?
because now they have their report based on the evidence that they've written to show just a specific narrative. And so they're probably like, well, what? We have it all right here in the report.
No, they don't have
all
it all.
the data.
They're full of shit. They don't have it all. So that alone there should be nothing about this anymore. Like we should just everybody should call their bluff on this. The fact that their terabytes have been destroyed, you guys are full of crap. Liz Cheney, crybaby shit, whatever his name is, Kinzinger, that dude's name, the guy who cries all the time.
Yeah.
We cannot take these people seriously anymore. The fact that there's all this evidence destroyed, we know exactly what they're doing. I mean, seriously, it's completely biased.
Of course it is. Well, and I guess the only saving grace is that, yeah, Trump has subpoena power. But if the evidence is gone, well, then it's gone for the prosecution too.
Right.
So they don't get to use evidence that no longer exists in their prosecution of him.
And who is the person who got rid of it? I mean, there is a human being out there who actually destroyed this evidence. There is a person that did it, or person or people who did it. So, yeah. I mean, who are you that does that? I honestly, I mean, I just shake my head. And I'm like, these people are freaking evil, man. Like they are so afraid of people like us seeing the truth. Shame on those people. They're the ones who hate democracy. You know, they're the ones who hate this constitutional republic so much that they're willing to do that. Gross. Yeah, they're the traitors.
Well, and it's amazing to me. I know my sister had posted something on Facebook the other day, just asking her Democrat friends, and she has a lot of them. She was like, okay, you guys, I'm not trying to like start any fights here, but like the Hunter Biden thing. I mean, how are you guys okay with this? How are you guys okay with all of the evidence that's coming out about how in the mix of this Joe Biden is? You can't be okay with that. And so many of these morons were responding, there's no evidence. There's nothing. It doesn't matter that literally they announced yesterday, the House Oversight Committee announced yesterday, hey, we've found $20 million have gone to Biden, the Biden family, the entire family from the, during Biden's vice presidency through these 20 shell companies. And yet you still have morons on the left who are like, that's not evidence. What? That doesn't mean anything. Yeah, because normal people just run around having 20 shell companies and get paid from China and I don't know, Kazakhstan or wherever. Give me a break. Yeah. So James Comer, they're getting sick of it. And they're just like, you know what? It's time for Biden to pony up his personal bank statements. Because if he doesn't have anything to hide, he should have no problem sharing those. Here he is.
Why are they blocking us from more bank record, Rob? If the president's done nothing wrong, then they should allow us to see their personal bank record. I mean, you've seen the emails that showed that Hunter Biden was complaining to his daughter that he had to give half of his income to his father. Right. That's pretty damning evident. Yeah. When his income 100% came from our adversaries around the world for influence peddling, for violating the Foreign Agents Registration Act. And his dad, now we know, was on the phone call with all 20 of these people that sent the Biden family these millions of dollars. So Joe Biden has been implicated. And if there's nothing to hide, then they should be transparent with us with their financial records and stop obstructing and intimidating our witnesses and blocking us for more bank records.
Yeah, and the thing is that they demanded to have Trump's, and he was a businessman, a citizen, personal businessman, and they were like, well, we got to see everything that he's done for the past, I don't know, 100 years. Yeah, we got to know everything that his family has done, and they got it. It's like they got everything, and they wanted to destroy him. They've been out to destroy him forever. Because what? Because he was a self-made businessman. They hate that. They can't stand that. But then here's Biden, who has been sucking like taxpayer money his whole life. He's never had a real freaking job ever in his whole dang life, just like every other politician. And then his son is like doing all these seed businesses and like sucking money from and literally selling us out to all these countries that hate us. Yep. And now look, putting us in jeopardy. And Democrats are like, oh no, that's totally fine. Let's go after Trump. Red man bad, orange man bad. I mean, this is what they're doing. It's craziness.
Yes, somebody just referred to it as the Biden crime orbit. Yes, Shonda.
Exactly. Yes. It's the Biden crime orbit. And this is because they just don't want to believe it. They don't want to believe, and they're giant hypocrites. Time and time again, they are hypocrites. If the tables were turned, it would be a completely different story. But because they're Democrats, it's two tiers of justice, y'all. That's what it is.
Without question. And if you can't see that at this point, I don't get your eyes checked.
Yeah,
because wow.
Exactly. You also believe in, the fact that you think that if stapling money to the clouds will change the weather. You believe that too.
That's right.
And you believe that men are women. You also believe that.
But you also can't define woman.
You can't.
Peter Doocy, as we mentioned yesterday, is back in action, and he hopped a fence to get to ask Biden a question. Here's how that went.
Our very own Peter Doocy literally hopping a fence to get Biden's first comments on his son's business dealings.
There's this testimony now where one of your son's former business associates is claiming that you were on speakerphone a lot with them talking business. Is that what?
I never talk business in anybody. And I knew you'd have a lousy question.
Well, why is that a lousy question?
Because it's not true.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Mr. President.
All right.
Did you see his face?
He's just like,
it's
just another freaking lie. You were there. Like, they've proven that you were there. You were like in all these calls, you're all these dinners, like everybody. Why does he keep lying?
It's amazing.
And it's remarkable how he can do it to somebody's face.
Yeah.
How easy it is for him to just lie right there in front of somebody.
Well, it's his whole life. And that's the other thing. It's like people keep saying there's no evidence. I'm just like, are you aware of Biden's history as a complete liar from the beginning of time?
Right.
Since his description of his time in school, everything about him, everything that comes out of his face is a lie. So when he says that's not true, oh, okay, we're just supposed to just take that at face
And the
value?
Democrats do. Democrats are like, I believe him.
God.
I believe it. Yeah.
Just unreal.
I'm going to put my mask back on. Yes, sir. Yes.
Please lock me down, Daddy.
Please give me another shot. I'll take the 8th booster. Yes. Okay. All right. I'll be over here. Y'all have fun.
Oh my God. All right. Okay. So we talked earlier about the Hawaii fires and Biden, you know, he so often does interviews with people. And then when he chooses to do an interview with somebody, it's somebody like super important, like somebody from the Weather Channel. That's who he sat down with to do an interview recently. And of course, the focus was climate change. And one of the clips that you're about to see is the reason that I started to be like, wait a minute. And you'll see that in just a second. But first, Jesse Waters introduces one of the clips, which is specifically about drilling and the loss of so many jobs of people that were in fossil fuels and have lost their jobs due to Biden's crazy climate change policies. Listen to this.
Disappointed in the president.
You promised no new drilling on federal land or offshore. Can you tell Gen Z that you haven't broken your promise?
Yes, because the courts overruled me. The court said I couldn't do it. I wanted to stop all drilling on the East Coast and the West Coast and in the Gulf, but I lost in court. But we're still pushing. We're still pushing really very hard.
Well, constitutionally, once the Supreme Court overrules you, there's nowhere else to push. This is exactly what happened with student loans. Remember, he makes a promise, excites his base, gets overruled in court, and then wants credit for broken promises. Now, Biden ran on being big labor's biggest supporter in the White House. But union membership is down under Joe Biden because of his visceral hatred of the fossil fuel industry. Does the president care?
Labor has been always opposed to environmental changes because they think it costs them jobs. It's their future. They're going to build 550,000 electric charging stations all across America. My mom used to say, out of everything bad, something good will come if you look hard enough for it. There's an enormous opportunity. We're a growing economy.
Again, we investigated and we couldn't find a single fired Keystone Pipeline worker who's been hired to build electric car charging stations. Not one. And every time I see an electric car charging station, no one's charging their car.
That's so true.
It's so true.
It's so true. Because you look at those, you're like, who's doing that? Where are the cars, man? They're just not there. So again, he's lying. He's lying.
As always.
Yeah. Kind of like that company that's just like the cylinder company. I can't remember it because nobody cares because nobody cared about that stupid electric bus company or whatever. That went out of that one. Sorry. What was it called again?
Proterra.
Yeah. It sounds like a pharmaceutical drug.
It does.
But anyways, Proterra. You get diarrhea from it. But it's Proterra. But yes, it was the bus company that went under because everybody made a bunch of money from it again, except for us because we got screwed.
Yep.
But this is the thing. They make all these promises. They lie to the American people and Democrats are like, it's no big deal. We love it. Go green. Go green.
Well, and if it's not, if it's not this idea of electric vehicles or whatever, then they're talking solar panels. And remember how Jennifer Granholm was all, this is going to be great because you'll get such a huge tax rebate if you get solar panels for your house. And so everybody can afford that. They cost $30,000.
Yeah, so you have to put that up front. So nobody cares about tax. Like when I hear that, the tax rebate thing, I want to punch people because I'm like, you have to put money up front, in order to get a tax rebate. People just don't have 30 grand lying around to get thanks for my tax rebate. So basically, I'm going to have to shell out 30 grand so you can give something back to me.
Or not even so you get something back, but so you don't have to pay as much in taxes one year.
Taxes? Yeah, thanks so much. But no. Thank you, but no. That is not something that is beneficial to me. I'm not like, this is the thing. This is what rich elitists say who are sucking money off of Joe Q and Jane Q taxpayer.
Yep.
That's what they're saying. They think that that's beneficial to us. This is how out of touch these people are. No. That's not beneficial to me.
Well, the Weather Channel chick asked him about the solar panels and the expense of them, and he did the whole creepy whisper thing again. Check this out.
Let's move on to solar panels because they aren't cheap. Fewer than 5% of American homes have them, and it's still cheaper, easier just to get your energy from the grid. How do you convince Americans that the hard thing to do might be the right thing to do for the environment?
We're giving them tax credits to do it. That's what they do. You can afford to do it. And you can afford to weatherize your home.
No.
We're paying people to go out and make their homes more solid in the sense that they're not letting out heat, they're not letting out cooling.
Are you writing me a check? Because you're not doing that. Oh my God, this guy, and he's so creepy.
So creepy. And the fact that he's saying we're paying people, what money are you using to pay people, you clown?
I know, there's no money. It's like the tax credit thing is a bunch of bull crap. Unless you have like disposable income, which nobody has right now. Bull crap. I call so much bull crap on that. Give me a break. And quit whispering at people, you creepy old man.
It's so creepy. Now here's the clip that is the one that like just made me get all bajiggity and tinfoil hatty about the fires and all the other climate disasters that they keep pinning on climate change. This is what gave me pause.
I mean, there's so much going on. Finally, no one can any longer deny that we don't have a problem with climate change.
There's so much going on.
Right. Like the fires in Hawaii. That's really weird, you guys. Don't you think that's weird?
It just feels weird, doesn't it?
You can't deny it. You can't deny it.
Yeah, because there's so much going on. It's almost as if we made it that way so that we could shove this narrative down your throat.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've been shoving it down our throats for, a long time now. Ever since COVID, it's like, pivot. That's what they pivoted to, is they pivoted to this climate change crap, right? I mean, they all got together. It was a concerted effort, and they said, okay, we're going to pivot to climate change. So it is kind of interesting that he's saying this to her right now, especially in the midst of the fires in Hawaii. Don't you think?
Yeah. It just feels weird, you guys. It just feels weird. And then, of course, he couldn't visit the Grand Canyon without saying his standard. I guess he thinks this is his best joke. I don't get it. But look at the pride on his face when he makes his famous Joe Biden quip.
The problem with climate change.
Don't jump.
Promises.
Yes, he said don't jump.
Look at him.
Oh my God.
He's like, I made it funny. Pull my
I
finger.
did it again. I need my pudding, Jill.
God.
God. Just stop. Just when are we going to be out of this agony? It's agony at this point.
It really is.
I just can't. When? When is it going to be over, you guys?
Seriously. I can't. I know that we talked about this. I guess it was a couple weeks ago. We've got the most unbelievable new American Business Spotlight partner, and it's RhinoWare. And I think we showed a video last time we talked about it. This is the coolest product ever. If you have a child in school, if you work in an office building, there's so many uses for this. Churches. Yes, absolutely. So Andy Caldwell, he owns and installs these systems, these door locking systems all over the country. And so what happens is typically a community of folks who are worried about school safety, for example, like a group of parents will get together, go to their school board and say, please spend the few $100s it would take to secure classrooms in schools. And I'm going to show you, I'm just going to share my screen really quickly so that you can see what this system is and how easy it is to operate. And this will just take 2 seconds for you to see this. This system right here, what you see on this door, makes the door impenetrable, and it even makes it impenetrable with a gun. So if like an active shooter tried to come in from the outside and shoot the lock, it would blast right back in their face. Right. And so it's a remarkable system, and look at how easy it is to engage.
Is right here. You simply lock it down just like that, and once it's locked down, there's no getting in the door.
A 3-year-old could do this.
Yeah. And it's just as easy to unlock it. So a kindergartner could actually trip the little the lever thing. It would take 2 seconds to even teach a kindergartner how to
Right.
disengage if it needed to be disengaged. But it's such an important step to just buy time in the event of an active shooting situation. And so that's the most important thing about it. And so, this is a product that's recommended for any room that can be made into a safe room, whether again, that's a classroom, an office, a church, a bathroom, even whatever. This is an amazing, amazing product and super inexpensive given the level of safety that it offers. So all you have to do is go to our website, chicksontheright.com/sponsors. You're going to see the banner for American Business Spotlight, and you just need to click on that. You're going to see RhinoWare, and that is the name of the company that installs these amazing systems. We just cannot say enough good stuff about this. It's an amazing company. It is, this is a no-brainer. When you think about all the security like a government building has, you know what I mean?
Right.
This is basic stuff that we should be providing for our
I wish
kids.
every school had these. I wish every single school. They should. They absolutely should. It's inexcusable that they don't. So if you can get your local school to get them, it would be amazing. It would be the greatest thing. And a lot of people are doing that. There's some schools in Texas that have them. There's some schools around the country that already have these. So if that's something that you can work with, like your local school board to get them installed, that's what some people are doing. So it would be really great.
Yeah. You can check this out at RhinoWare. At RhinoSec, RhinoSec.us. You can get more information there, or you can just go to our page and check out the American Business Spotlight. You can find them there as well. So it's an amazing product, an amazing company, and we just cannot say enough good stuff about them. Okay, looks like I have a few thank yous. Ashley Hibbard, thank you. She says, David was mocking the Democrats and calling them racist. He's a regular who definitely understands the weight of what's happening at the border. Okay, thank you very much for saying that. And I apologize to David. I was worried. I was like, is he talking to us or is he talking to somebody else? So, David, my apologies. And whoever you were mocking, they can suck it. That's who
okay. So we owe David an apology. Sorry, David.
Yes, I'm sorry, David.
We get really bajiggity about the border thing.
Yeah,
and especially with having parents who have who came over here from Poland, and they did it the right way. And it took time and money and energy, and they love this country. And if you've ever read our book, there's some information about that in our book. But you guys, it's like I get really protective of her and her mom and dad. And
and of everybody that does it the right way,
right?
You know what I mean?
Totally.
It's just such a slap in the face. What's happening now?
It is a slap in the face.
Immigrants. God.
Totally.
Anyway, sorry, David. Sorry that
David.
our rage was misdirected.
It was misdirected. Big.
But
I'm
redirecting it at whoever the a-hole is that you were talking to.
Exactly. Yes, David. So big virtual hug to you. Sorry.
That's right. Sorry. And also 2 thank yous to TKJ214. Thank you very, very much. They say, wait until you hear what the federal government fleet is doing. It is a massive clusterfuck. What is that?
Oh my
God.
God.
What is the federal government fleet doing? I don't know what that means. I feel like we need more information.
Yeah, what's happening?
So
where are they going? What's going on? What's happening?
All right. In the meantime, let's get to some Trump. So Trump, I've got a couple clips. I've actually got a few clips from him. Trump was talking to Eric Bolling, and he apparently has nothing to fear from Ron DeSantis, which begs the question, why does he keep obsessing over him? If there's no threat, what is his obsession?
I was more upset. I was more irritated about the Eric Bolling comments in this, because he was so like, well, 2/3 of people think that you don't even need.
Well, that's
to do
another clip.
debate.
That's a whole
That's
other
another whole other clip. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So the first one is just about DeSantis, and what is the deal? Just if you're 70, 80 points ahead, then why are you even mentioning him? Why are you giving him any air? You know what I mean?
Because he's afraid. He's afraid of him, because he actually is threatened by him, which is why all of his ads are directed towards him. He's definitely threatened by him.
Okay, because I mean, I think that should be obvious. Here he is talking more DeSantis.
DeSantis is a failed candidate. If I didn't endorse DeSantis, he wouldn't have ever won. He was he was out. Then I endorsed him, and he went up and he was able to win. He went up massively in one night after I endorsed him. But he was a failed candidate. And you know what? He's a failed candidate again. He's got no personality. He's got nothing going. And he's dropped like a rock. I don't even think he's going to be 2 number long. I mean, somebody's going to come along like maybe Tim Scott or somebody and probably take his place. And probably this stops him in 28. You know, he could have walked into 28, maybe. So much.
I love the ticker. It just cracks me up when they do that. They're like, DeSantis is a failed candidate, no personality. That's the Chiron. It just cracks me up. But I honestly, I think it would just be so great if he just didn't do that. If he just didn't talk about him so much, because the obsession with him, it seems like it's a little bit of an obsession. Like, he's very concerned about DeSantis. He has been since the beginning. It's obvious that he's concerned the most about him. I know he's the first one in line next to him, but he's a little overly concerned about him, because if he feels as though people aren't, like, if he's so far ahead, he shouldn't be so concerned with anybody. He should be talking about policies more than anything else. And I don't really hear him talking about policies so much. I know people are going to get pissed because I'm saying that, but I like Trump. So, I mean, I just wish he would talk more about the policies that are and stuff that's going on. I haven't heard a lot about that from him being the front runner. I want to hear more about that kind of stuff, because there's so much going on, and I just want to hear more about the stuff that's going on, you know?
Well, and the best place to hear about it would be a debate. And so Eric Bolling asked him, like, where is he on the debate? And Eric Bolling apparently has done his own polling and has discovered that most people don't want him to do the debate. So it's an interesting exchange, particularly as it gets to the end. We'll talk about it in just a second. Listen to this.
You just opened up so many avenues right now, but just to tie up the Fox debate, you said you'll decide next week. What is there?
I'll be announcing. Yeah, I've already decided, and I'll be announcing something next week.
Yes. I noticed the Fox senior executives came and had dinner with you and pitched you. Did they move the needle?
Well, they were very nice. Look, they were very nice.
Here's why, Mr. President, the only reason I say this, I put a poll up on Twitter. At least 2/3 of the people don't want you to do the debate because they feel it could be a setup. Are you concerned about Fox setting up?
Well, when you're at 75, 78, 80%, and other guys are at 0, 1%, 2%, 3%, you do say, what's the upside? Am I going to go up 1 point? But they could go up. You know, they're not dumb people. They're senators. They're governors, they're intelligent people. You have some very good people. I think you have some very good people, and you have some people. I mean, I have a problem with the debate for another reason. I wouldn't sign the pledge. Why would I sign a pledge? There are people on there that I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have certain people as, you know, somebody that I'd endorse. So they want you to sign a pledge. But I can name 3 or 4 people that I wouldn't support for president. So right there's a problem, okay? Right there's a problem. But I don't have to use that.
Right now,
no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. There's no reason to insult them. But there's
no reason to insult them.
It's kind of funny. And Eric Bolling's like, in my poll of like 14 people, you know, it's like, this is like 3/4 of them are raw. It's okay, whatever. That was just kind of annoying. Now, somebody said he talks about his policies at the rallies. Yeah, but not everybody goes to his rallies. You know, the sound bites are coming from stuff like this. It's coming from, you know, when he does television interviews and when he does podcast interviews and when he does this kind of stuff. I mean, this is where people actually, not everybody goes to his rallies. So he needs to be talking about issues, policy issues in these avenues, not just in his rallies. That's when most people see him, is in stuff like this. I mean, people aren't just going to his rallies. So,
well, and I think he sets just the worst example ever when he just said there are people that I would not support on that stage as president. And that sucks, because our message is constantly to everybody, whoever the nominee is, even if it's not our top choice. If they are against Biden, we are voting for them. And the fact that Trump is not even saying that he would do that is really disappointing.
Yeah, because who would he vote for? Who is it that he would vote for? If it's, I mean, would you vote for Biden? Would you vote for RFK? Who would you vote for?
I
Would
mean,
you vote
that's
for
the
Marianne
thing.
Williamson? Is it going to be the astral projection lady, the woo woo lady? Who is it? I mean, this is the thing. I mean, I know.
Listen, I don't the pledge. You can think what you want about pledges and their value, but the fact that he's openly saying, I can't make that pledge because if somebody else was the nominee, there's like a few people I couldn't vote for. Really? Against Biden?
Yeah, I mean that it is a little. It's a little jarring. Yeah,
Wow.
I know, especially where we are in this country. I mean,
Yeah.
yikes.
Now, to his credit, because this is like when Trump is at his absolute best. So apparently he was giving a speech and it was in a room that was like the air conditioner was completely borked. It was super hot. And he's in a suit and he's sweating as any normal person would be. And he's complaining out loud to the crowd. He's like, listen, we're going to be fine, but it's 104 degrees in here. And you know that as soon as the mainstream media sees me sweating, they're going to be like, oh my God,
Yep.
he's not well. He's totally sick. And so this is so well called on his part that you couldn't have scripted this any better. Watch.
By the way, I want to say officially for the press, it's about 110 degrees in this room. Nice job with the air conditioning, whoever. But you know what the press will say? You know what they'll say? Trump didn't look well. He was extremely wet. It's 104 or 5 degrees in this room. But we're okay with it, right?
There's new reporting this morning on a secret memo. No.
I mean, him sweating. No, I'm just saying him sweating that much. Do you think he's
in a million different ways?
healthy?
I don't think he's
you
well.
Think he's unhealthy? You just don't. I mean, Marco Rubio didn't sweat that much.
Correct.
Oh my God.
Ron DeSantis doesn't sweat that much.
Anyhow,
that was a lot of sweat.
Yes, new reporting on a secret.
I mean, what does that mean? Marco Rubio didn't sweat that much. What does that mean?
Remember he was like famously sweaty during his rebuttal of a State of the Union that one time where he was like getting the water.
Oh, the water.
Remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The state. Yes, I forgot about that. Wow.
Yeah.
God, he just files that away, doesn't he? Like he's just obsessed with how much people sweat. It's a little bit weird, Joe.
I mean,
a little
he's
weird.
so called that.
Yes. That was beautiful. It's beautiful how he called that because he knows the media. He understands how, appearances and stuff like that work in the media because he's done this forever.
Yeah.
He totally gets it. He understands it.
It just cracked me up. And it was even the exact same word. He's like, they're going to say that I don't look well. And then literally it's Joe Scarborough. He doesn't look well.
Yeah. You guys, I saw Trump it was just a flashback to like an 80s appearance on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And it's just so funny seeing Trump like loved by people.
Yeah, it's a whole different time.
Do you guys remember that? Like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and then he was in Home Alone. I think it was either Home Alone 1 or it wasn't Home Alone 1, it was Home Alone 2, I think. Home Alone 2 when he was lost in New York because those people cannot keep control of their kids. But he was in the Home Alone 2. And I mean, he's made appearances on so many different things. And that was when people liked him. Remember when, Oprah had him on? Oprah kind of had googly eyes with him. He was on Sex and the City. Susan, I didn't know he was on Sex and the City.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that.
I don't remember that, but I'm going to have to look that up. But he's been on so many different shows and has done a great job. I mean, he's been on all sorts of movies and shows and stuff like that. And, celebrities and Hollywood just liked him. They adored him. They thought he was great. And then he became a guy with an R next to his name. And then they were like, wah, 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 wah. Yeah. Isn't that interesting how that works?
Meanwhile, Governor DeSantis doing Florida things and doing them awfully, awfully well. So for the second time in his governorship, he has fired or suspended rather a state attorney for not doing the job for the people. So there's a state attorney somewhere in the Central Florida area. This woman, he announced yesterday that he was suspending her because she has allowed repeat criminals back out onto the streets. And then those criminals have done terrible things, including and up to murder. And so he's like, enough is enough. Your job is to protect the citizens, not to allow criminals to get off the hook constantly. He's fed up with it. He's the only governor I know of that ever does this, that ever actually takes this kind of action against state attorneys who are not doing their jobs. So there's a quick little snippet of him explaining why he did it, and then a response from the state attorney, who's kind of eating this up with a spoon a little bit. She's definitely playing to the camera crowd. I'll leave it at that.
Prosecutors do have a certain amount of discretion about which cases to bring and which not. But what this state attorney has done is abuse that discretion and has effectively nullified certain laws in the state of Florida. That breaches her duties that she owes to the people of Florida under our state constitution and provides the basis for the suspension. And
I am your duly elected state attorney for the 9th Judicial Circuit, and nothing done by a weak dictator can change that.
When it comes to law and
I mean,
that's so funny. And some of the headlines about this are just so misleading, of course, because they're like, for the second time, Ron DeSantis has, gotten rid of somebody who his political ideals don't mesh with, basically. And it's like, she's not doing her freaking job.
Yeah.
It's like, it's why. And then when you're in government, it's so hard to get fired. But he's doing that. He's firing people who don't do their jobs. And so it's just such a foreign concept for people who are in the government to get fired for not doing their freaking jobs, which I applaud that. I think it's great.
And weaker leaders would totally avoid doing this, especially in the case of a Black woman state attorney. They would never touch that with a 10-foot pole. He is fearless, and that is why he has the support of so many of the police and sheriffs in Florida. Here's one absolutely praising this action and explaining why it's so important.
when it comes to law and order, Governor DeSantis is not playing. Governor DeSantis, like I and all the others standing up here, took an oath of office to protect our communities. He understands that government's one and only responsibility is to protect its citizens.
That's true.
And his actions today, without question, saved the lives of citizens in Central Florida. But they also saved the lives of citizens in other parts of this state. Because just like Sheriff Judd and the other surrounding counties, those criminals that were being let out, not charged, not prosecuted, coming into my county as well. In fact, the 2 Orlando police officers that were shot were from Brevard County. I will tell you that no matter how good a job Commissioner Glass does, no matter how good a job Colonel Howes does, no matter how good a job Sheriff Judd or myself or the other chiefs and sheriffs in this state do, to put bad people in jail, no matter how good a job we do to put bad people in jail, if the state attorney is not being the voice for the victims, our efforts are wasted. We arrest the same people over and over again. Central Florida has been exposed to a state attorney that ignored her oath, a state attorney that ignored being the voice of the victims. And today, Governor DeSantis is the voice for those victims.
People just don't get it.
They don't get it.
They just
don't get it. That's what draining the swamp actually looks like.
Right
there.
This is the thing. They don't understand. And then they're like, why is crime so bad in the city?
Right.
Well, that's why,
Yeah.
And then she'll get up and she'll be like, he's racist and he's sexist. You know that's next, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's happening.
I love that it didn't stop him. He's just like, what? He's going to do the right thing regardless. And even if it hurts the feels of the woke crowd.
It's going to hurt the feels. It's going to hurt all the feels.
Yeah. Yesterday, there was a big headline about Lil Tay, who I had completely forgotten existed, and who became just an awful, the worst version of an influencer ever when she was 9 years old. This child has unfortunately passed away. I don't know why. It was announced yesterday that she and her 21-year-old brother, she was 14 before she passed away, She and her 21-year-old brother both gone with no explanation from the family. And in case you had forgotten who Lil Tay was, and I certainly wouldn't blame you if you had.
Some people didn't even know who she was.
Yeah, I saw clips of her back in the day, and then I forgot she existed. Here's how she was influential.
Lil Tay, the youngest flex of the century. I'm only 9 years old, but I'm richer than all y'all broke ass haters. This female kitchen is bigger than your whole entire living room, and I got 4 more houses. Y'all haters are already older than me, but y'all still talking shit. I'm a 9-year-old millionaire, and I be smoking dope, bitch. Shut your mouth before I smack you on.
Oh my God. I can't.
Lovely child.
Yeah, she seems like she's been raised really well.
And that was her
Or
shtick,
she
right?
was.
Like that made her have millions of followers. The fact that she would go on video and like show tons of cash and be in various mansions and cuss out everybody on video, that is what made her popular. That is like the absolute state of our culture. And now she's gone. And she talked in that little clip about smoking dope. So who knows what else she might have upgraded
Done.
to, if you know what I'm saying.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Because she was 9. She was 9 in that clip, right?
In that clip, she was 9, and then
Yeah.
she passed away yesterday at 14. So
Yeah, dead at 14.
that's our culture is
What a-
borked.
That is
Completely borked.
insanity. Yeah.
It is
Mhm.
time for your whack.
Okay, so I saw this a couple days ago, but I just figured I would show it to you guys today. I don't know how this is happening. I don't know like why this woman has this in her hand, but she's doing this at Whole Foods. She's paying for her groceries and whatnot with a chip in her hand. And she's all excited about it. She's got her little Chanel purse and she's all excited to pay for her groceries at Whole Foods with a chip. So we'll just show you the video first. And
Whole
then,
Foods, and I'm about to pay for my groceries with my.
oh my God.
That's the coolest thing ever.
She thinks it's the coolest thing ever. And there are a lot of people who think this is really, really cool. I say
No.
hell to the no.
Nope.
Nope. I am
No
not doing
way.
this. It's the mark of the beast. I'm not doing it. I mean, don't people know that's what it is? That's totally what it is. I am not putting that crap in my body.
Why
No.
would you? I mean, that's so dangerous. Like, imagine
Mm-mm.
somebody just abducting you and just using your hand at ATMs or wherever.
Mm.
I mean, that's so dumb.
No, I am not putting that crap on my body. I mean, listen, it's bad enough that they track everything, right? I mean, you're already kind of being tracked everywhere all the time. But like the minute they put a chip in you, it is over. It is just over. You're done.
That's
it's like
freaking
you are
scary.
basically you're an object of the state at that point. Like you're them. I mean, you're property of them.
Yeah. Because if
That's-
if your chip is connecting to something to get payments or ID'd or whatever, that means that something can connect
take it
back
away.
to you and put who knows what into that chip.
And they can take it away. They can be like, okay, I'm going to go because you put this on social media or you did this or you did that. We can go ahead and deny you this. We can deny you credit. We can deny you food. We can deny you water. We can deny all these things. So you don't get to, it's like a social credit system.
Yeah.
I am not on board with that.
No,
So I'm glad that she thinks it's really cool, but I am not one of those people. I mean, your mileage may vary, but
I'm not seeing a single person who would actually do that because our audience is very smart for the most part. So I'm not
Mark
seeing
of the
anybody that would
beast,
do that.
y'all.
Mariana, thank you so much. Very, very generous. Thank you very, very much for that super sticker or super chat. I never know what to call them, but thank you. Okay, it is time for My Pillow Talks. My Pillow, just like Omaha Steaks, celebrating big time this summer because it's anniversary time. And that means that they are passing along their best savings to you. And specifically, their limited edition original My Pillow is the queen size is less than $20 right now. This is all a part of the anniversary sale, and you can get in on that huge discount action by going to mypillow.com/chicks and then make sure to use code chicks for the deepest discounts at checkout. Let me get to some talks. Okay. So first of all, do you remember, was it last Monday or the Monday before that when I had my total mental breakdown, which I do from time to time?
I think it was last Monday.
Okay. Yeah.
Not this week, but the week before. Yes.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I'm the kind of person that if I get overwhelmed, and it doesn't happen often, like 1 or 2 times a year, I've got to have a good cry. And it's like, I have to have it. It's like the only thing that will release all the stress and tension. And so this woman on TikTok is so perfectly emblematic of this, because what happens when I have my good cry is most of the time within a couple hours, I'm completely fine. So I got to get it out of my system, and then I'm completely fine again. And this is what that looks like.
And the fun thing about me is I will have a full mental breakdown. And in an hour, I'm probably going to stitch this laughing at myself. Not right now. Not right now. I woke up today and started my period. I'm not even supposed to have a period. In conjunction with my bleeding, I'm also having like hip pain and just like back pain. All the pain. The mood's not good. I'm also bloated. So tell me why when I have a period, that's supposed to tell me that I'm not pregnant, I look like I'm pregnant. I don't understand it. But I'm not going to fight it. I'm done. I'm done sucking in. I'm done sucking in. I'm sick of it. And then I went to get my oil changed, and they were like, it's going to cost you a literal arm and a leg. And I was like, okay. Then what am I supposed to do about it? Living is just so expensive, and normally I wouldn't care. Literally any other day of the week, I would be like, it's just money. I don't care. Take my Amex. It's not like we take money to the grave. I'm not Drake. I'm not taking my money to the grave. What money do I have to take to the grave? I don't. I think today's also hitting different because I took all of my fake tan off yesterday. So I'm looking a little pale, and I also got a little sunburned. So every time I look in the mirror normally, I'm like, oh, you're so cute. I love you so much. And I still say that, but I say it with a twitch in my eye because I'm like, you could look a little better if you would just put your B-tan on. And I'll get to that. We'll get to that tonight because I'm crying. I can't do it right now. Or I'm going to wake up tomorrow with streaks down my neck. Everything's literally fine. Like, I'm going to watch this in an hour and I'm going to be like, you're fine. And I'm going to be fine. And I know that. I know that. But like, if you get it, you get it. Sometimes you just need to let it out. TLDR, I'm bleeding and I got an oil change. No big deal. It's live, laugh, love. So I had a nap and some dinner and I'm actually doing just fine.
Oh my God. Okay, so
literally me.
The difference is you don't tape it and put it on TikTok. Because I would probably have it sit down with you if you did that. Okay.
No, nobody wants to see my breakdowns.
I don't think people don't want to see anybody's breakdown. I really didn't want to see that. I didn't want to see that breakdown. Like, and I'm kind of listening to kind of somebody says first world problems. Yeah, it is first world problems. It
For
really
sure.
is. No one wants to see that crazy. No one does. I mean, I get the crazy. We all have crazy days, but I think the difference between like, maybe it's a Gen X thing. It's like, why do people feel like they need to put that on social media? Why?
Yeah. I mean, in this case, it was very relatable. And so maybe she was like,
it's relatable, but why are you like, what possesses somebody to go, I'm going to go ahead and hit record and stand in front of a camera and do that.
Yeah, that's
true.
true.
Why?
That is true.
Right. Just have a glass of vodka. Have your breakdown and just do it. You know what I mean? Just have it.
Well, and on the complete flip side of that is a video from a guy who when you first start to watch it, you're going to think, wow, this is like depressing AF. But the message towards the end of this video is so powerful. And it was such a good check-in for me, like to count my blessings. You know what I mean? Like, so when you're feeling like you're having a crap day, man, does this guy give you all the perspective that you need.
All my credit cards are maxed out. Matter of fact, they're beyond maxed out because Capital One allowed me to go $9 over on a transaction. My bank account, currently it has $4 in it. And by Monday morning, it'll be negative $126. And I don't know how I'm going to get to work. Because I have just over a quarter tank of gas for the week. And then on top of that, the van is breaking down because it's constantly overheating. Thermostat housing, which I've replaced every year, possibly. Could be that time again. Could be a leak in the system. Because currently I'm just keeping that coolant a little bit fuller than usual. I don't know. But what I do know is I'm happier than I have been in a very long time. I am counting my blessings. There's no money, but there's a roof. I kept my children and my wife out of the rain this morning. There's no money, but there's food. Not a lot, but there's food to get us through. There's no money, but there's electricity. There's no money, but I woke up this morning. And I am so thankful that I did. For you see, I can be broke, but I'm not broken. I can start from the bottom, work my way up, and build back better than I ever have. And then, as life proceeds, it'll crash back down again and I'll have to start over. But I never forget my blessings.
I mean, that was nice.
I love that so much.
That was very, very nice.
I love that.
I'm still worried about his money, though. I'm really like I'm on edge.
Well, I mean, he's
'cause I'm
worried
like,
too. I mean, he's obviously worried.
I'm a little
but-
worried. Like now I have like anxiety over, you know, I'm a little anxious. I'm serious, you guys. I have anxiety now. Because I'm like, so, but what about his kids? Like, what's going to happen? Like, this is the thing. I'm the kind of person where I'd be like, okay, now, like, if I was that below, I'd be like, okay, now I need to go find like a third job and a fourth job and a fifth job. You know, I'm just that person. I'm like that person. Oh my God, what are we going to do about the money? He's going to be $126. What was he saying? 126.
124 in the hole, I think. On
Like in the
Monday.
hole, right?
Yeah.
I know God will provide, but I'm like, I gotta like meet God halfway and go get 3 jobs. You
And
know
I
what
think
mean?
I think that's his spirit. I think what he was trying to say is like, things are tough, but man, I'm going to do what it takes. I am going to do what it takes. And I'm still going to be grateful because I woke up today and I may be broke, but I'm not broken.
Somebody's saying that we have completely different reactions, right? You're just like, oh, and I'm like, oh my God.
Well, I mean, come on. Anytime they play that kind of music, I'm going to be, I'm gonna
and
cry.
I'm like, I have
hello.
total anxiety. I have such anxiety over that. That's just who I am as a person. Anyways, all right.
I love that. And it was such an opposite thing from the girl who was like, I'm bloated.
I know. She's like, I'm bloated. My oil change was expensive and look at me. I know it was. I know, but you're
Anyway.
right. People are like, but again, why do you need to record that? It's the same reason that people treat Facebook as a personal journal. I don't understand that either, but that's just a me question. You know, some people like that. Some people like seeing the long diatribes on Facebook where they just literally pour out their heart. I am not that person. I'm not going to put my personal feelings on Facebook. You know what I mean? Like you guys may like that. I'm just not that person. So, you know, it's just oversharing is a thing these days. Oversharing. Mhm.
I liked it. I love him.
See, I know. See, we're different.
Also, I found you the perfect cat.
You did?
You know how you've been saying you want a cat?
I kind of want a cat, you guys.
Well, I was thinking, you know, it's a hugely drastic thing to move from 3 Great Danes to a cat. And so I thought maybe you need like a middle ground sort of animal, and this could be it. It's a serval.
Oh my
It's a giant cat.
Oh, how gorgeous.
Right?
Are they nice?
I mean, I think this one is. Like it's a house serval. Look how big it is.
Oh my gosh. I want one.
Yeah.
And the coloring, the coloring is so me because leopard is a neutral. It's like
right.
Anybody out there have a serval?
Chloe?
Anybody?
Her name is Chloe.
Oh my gosh, what a beautiful animal.
Look at how giant.
Oh my gosh.
It's like my dog size.
It's gorgeous. It's so our kind of an animal because everything in our house is gigantic.
Yeah, this is why I'm saying like this could be your transition to a
Right.
cat. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, I think this is
because my husband looked at me the other day and we were talking about horses and I'm like, we can't afford horses. We can never have a horse. Horses kind of freak me out. And he goes, and if we were ever going to get a horse, I would want a Clydesdale. And I'm like,
of course he would.
What is it with you and having to have giant everything? What is that? Why? So
well,
crazy.
I mean, guys care about size. It's a thing.
They really do. They really do care about size. So crazy.
Okay, so somebody put together this cute little skit. I love this with this dog. Look.
Not much. What are you doing? I'm thirsty. Do you know what goes in there?
Dog is so cute.
Isn't
a
he
little
so
corgi?
cute?
Yeah, he's so cute. I love
Oh
corgis.
my gosh, so cute. Also, we talked about weather earlier, and this fellow has a bone to pick with the weather app on iPhone. Here he is.
This message is for the Apple iPhone weather app. Count your days. Count your fucking days. I knew that it rained this afternoon. I saw it outside my window. I used my eyeballs, right? Then the sun came out, and I knew I was going out this evening, so I looked to you. I looked to you. I looked to you for guidance, and what did you provide me with? Lies. Lies across the board. You must be a man the way you lie. Now, all I saw was little yellow spheres for the rest of the evening. Sun, sun, sun. Little yellow happy faces for the rest of my night. I wore coochie cutter shorts, walked out the doors without an umbrella, and went to play putt-putt golf. Halfway through the putt-putt golf game, the sky turned dark gray. The clouds came and literally blocked out the sun. And within seconds, rain was coming in from the side. Not from the heavens, from the sides. Smash cut to me, crouched in the bushes at the putt-putt golf. Back towards the rain, just drenched. Waiting for the rain to pass. Hunched in the bushes, in the brambles, like some sort of lost boy waiting for Captain Hook to pass. Clutching my golf club, a conductor of electricity. Apple iPhone weather app. If I see you on the street, it's over. It's done. Luckily, the person I was with were just platonic friends. There's no sexual chemistry. There's nothing there. Because if I had been on a date at the putt-putt golf and I had to cower in the bushes from the rain, I would have jumped in the Hudson River right then and ended it all. Apple iPhone weather app, I'm watching you.
His voice is delicious.
He has a good voice. Yeah, he's a radio voice.
Yeah,
It's a
right.
good voice. Uh-huh.
That app is the worst.
I don't ever use it. I
What do
never
you
use
use?
that app. I don't really use. I just ask my husband, "What's the weather going to be?" I depend on him. I have no idea.
What
I have
does he
no
use?
idea what he uses. I don't know.
Oh my
He
gosh.
actually has a weather station at our house. So I don't know. It's probably Greg's weather station. That's probably what I use. I don't know. I just ask him. I'm like, "Honey, what's the weather going to be?" And he tells me. I just rely on him.
I'm probably going to have to mute this one just for the copyright thing. But this is a video compilation of dogs with hilarious habits.
Boy. Love him.
He's Tigger. He's literally Tigger.
I love that dog. Oh my God.
Oh, I guess it's just that dog. I thought there was more, but it's just that dog.
I love him.
I know, right? He's so cute.
Oh, so
Anyway, those are your talks
happy.
for today.
Such good ones. Are you gonna get up? You gonna get up? Are you gonna get up? Do I have to throw something at you? Get up. I just threw a pen at him and he's completely undisturbed. Are you getting up? Do I have to throw something else at you? Here, let me throw something else at you.
You should have like a stack of stuffed animals that you hurl at him.
So mad. So mad. Come on, get up. Come on. Come on, get up.
Did you throw a pen at him?
I throw 2 pens at him. Come on. Come on. Get up. Come over here. Come on. Come over here. Now he's mad. Come on.
He's so mad.
So mad. He's just so mad.
Come on,
you
he's
guys.
up. You got to get him. There he comes.
No, come on. There it is. Okay, there it was. Okay, God, it's just so. He's on his own schedule, you guys. He's just on his own dang schedule.
He would have the routine down.
He
by
kind
now.
of does, you know, but you get so like, I got to do my own thing. I'm grown up. He's just such a grown up. He's such a grown up boy. He's such a grown up boy with his flip flaps. You guys, it's so funny because Coda he's got ears that are about as big as Cassius. He's going to have to grow into them, but his flaps are so dainty.
Really?
Yeah, he has dainty flaps. They're like flips, you know, they're not so much flaps as they are flips, and they sound different. They're like, I just can't explain it.
Does Astrid do it?
No, Astrid doesn't. Well,
No.
she every once in a while she'll flap, but she's got like lab ears.
Yeah, they stick out, and one of them sticks out more than the other.
Yeah, she doesn't really. I think I really think she's half lab, so she doesn't really do the Dane flaps. You know, she doesn't have the big Dane ears. She has more like lab ears, like your girls, and so she just doesn't have the super heavy duty flaps. But you know, it's so funny because Coda, the cutest little flippy flaps.
Oh my gosh, you got to do tomorrow. Can we see tomorrow? Maybe he.
Yeah, we could probably get him in here tomorrow. He'll come in here and destroy stuff. So I'll just prepare myself for that, you guys. Anyways, you guys have the best Thursday ever. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.